Horrible game to watch. It was a game of real little quality. We got off to a great start, to be fair. It was probably the best moment of quality in the game. Tolu Links went round the corner. It's a wonderful bit of work from Webby on the left-hand side, who squares it to Kelvin, and Kelvin makes an instinctive finish and took his goal really well. And then I was really hopeful we were going to kick on, but the game became a bit of a scrap, really, a bit of a fight. And they've had a couple of chances, but like I said, the key thing for me over the last 4 games for us has been the ability to keep us back to 0s and 1s really against. And the good thing is, as well, as when you're analysing the games, even though teams are getting shots away at goal, they're not getting them away from what I'd call our golden area. So anytime they're in and around that sort of penalty box, they're either having to shoot from range, or if they are getting shots away in our box, they've got 3 or 4 bodies in the way making blocks. So it's not as if we're sitting there at the moment hanging on for dear life. But having said that, with Osei, they got a corner late in the game, and I think he's at the frame of the goal. There was all sorts of kerfuffle going on the line. But again, it was a really professional job done, considering we didn't have Benji Crilly, we didn't have Carl Davison, didn't have Carl Faulkner, didn't have Manny. You know, we're missing quite a few. Obviously, Terence still not fully fit. So we're at the moment we're still, you know, we've had a few players out. But fair credit to the boys who've come in; they've done really well. And the most important thing, as I said, every single week, every game, is to get the 3 points. And I was delighted. And I don't mind winning 1-0. Doesn't bother me. All it says at the league table at the end of the game is we're 3 points better off. Our goal difference has improved by 1, and we were able to sort of keep that little mini run going. So very pleased, very proud of the boys. Thought we had to dig in. Tough place to go, tough game. Osei certainly picked up, and they're certainly going to start picking up some points, I would have thought, moving forwards over the next few weeks. But yeah, it was a game I was very pleased to get done, and I'm glad we haven't got to go back there again this season. So all being equal, as I said, it was a positive 3 points, positive performance, and one that, as I said, wasn't a great watch even when I watched it back, but don't care, we won. So quite the opposite really to the game against Osei, and I predicted it to the staff before the game. I said I thought somebody was going to get a spanking, and I looked at our group on the day, and we went very attack minded with a lot of attackers on the pitch, and I thought we came out really quickly, got ourselves in front with a penalty from Kelvin, very calmly took. And then we lost our way after that. They got an equaliser almost about 70 seconds in from when we'd scored, which I was furious about because it was too easy. There was a long ball forward which we don't deal with, that then leads to them winning a throw-in, that then leads to our throw-in. Our throw-in then goes forward. It's a terrible throw-in. We lose the contact. The lad wriggles through because he's in the box. No one can touch him. He squares it. To be fair to him, it's well pulled back, but the lad's got too much time and space to drill it into the goal. So I was really frustrated with that. And then, but fair play to them, they then stuck it on us, and they got us turning. And what Cockfosters do well, to be fair to them, is they turn you, they get you running back towards your own goal. They win free kicks. They load every single throw in they get in around the final third. They launch into your box. Good delivery, nice and flat from the throw. And also corners, you know, they put, every time they get an opportunity to put a ball into your box, they did, and we had to stand up and be counted, and that was really pleasing for me, because previously with our group, one of the things that would have really disappointed me was that we probably would have come out of that and been down to 2-1 maybe, but we hung in there, we stuck in there. We had some chances of our own. I'm not saying we were all of a sudden penned in, and then within minutes we were then 3-1 up. Kelvin completes his hat-trick, and I was delighted for Kelvin. As I said afterwards, a lot of eyebrows were raised when I took him the first time. A lot of eyebrows were raised when I kept him at the end of last season. And I'm glad that's why I'm the manager, because it was the right decision to keep him, and that's been personified because his minutes to goals ratio is excellent, and he was very, very good. I thought him and Webby up front give you a platform to build off, and like everything, people are always spending their time trying to tell me about this player, and my coaches and staff got a right rocket from me this week over them telling me about all these other strikers that I'm knocking about, and I told them, look, I'm happy with the ones we got. They're scoring goals. We've got 5 goals. I think that's 6 goals in the last 4 games between Webby and Kelvin. So they're building a nice little relationship. And like I said, I was really pleased for Kelvin, and you know, we took him off at half time as a precaution, allowed us to flip shape, switch shape in, and then I thought really we exerted dominance. Bar them really, as I said, throwing balls into our box. We had to defend them. They're not an easy side to play against, but I thought 5-1 in the end. We had a couple of more good chances, and it was a great win. And I was really, really pleased with the boys. I thought they dug in. It was the opposite to Osei in terms of we were a little bit more fluid with the ball. But at the end of the day, you still get 3 points. And that's all I care about. And as I said, the last 4 games, that's 12 points in total. I think it's 9 goals we've scored and only conceded 1. So we're on a good little run of form, but certainly if there's one person who don't get carried away, it's me. So looking forward to Saturday, looking forward to next Tuesday, and just looking forward to watching the group play again. And we're having a good time. So regarding the squad, so good news with Carl Faulkner today. He's in a position where he's now running again, which is brilliant. So he's able to straight line run. So we're hopeful over the next couple of weeks we'll be able to get him back into the group. Benji Crilly and Carl Davison-Gordon will be available, I think, Saturday. Probably going to bring them back in next Tuesday, but again, I'll assess and analyse where we are tomorrow and make some decisions on that. With regards to injuries, Terence is stepping up his rehabilitation, which is good for us. Dan Naylor and Sam Scott have done really well at Oxy Jets, which is great because they're getting consistent games into their legs now, which is really important for us because when the running comes, as I said, we are going to have to use that squad. But it's now, we're back to tough selections again. It's back to having 18, 19 players that are all justified to start. And that's good for us. That's a good place to be in because what people know, and some people say players can't play under pressure. I completely disagree. What my players are showing me is every time they come back into the mix at the moment, they're turning up a performance. And I've been really, really delighted with the group. And we've had 7-dayers going in. We had a 7-dayer going for Tolu last week. He's turned it down. He wasn't remotely interested. And then we've had a club go through the back door today with Kelvin, which I'm not overly happy with, but I'll deal with that away from here. Seems that some clubs we do things through the front door and we do things properly, and other clubs seem to want to do things slightly differently. But as you'd expect from Kelvin, as you'd expect from all my players, they're very honest. They're truthful with me. They tell me straight away, and I'm delighted because we love Kelvin. Well, I certainly do, and I think everyone's got him back on side now. So I'm sure we'll see a few Kelvin Osei-Addo tattoos over the next few weeks, and I'm sure we might see a couple of banners and signs and all sorts, and he'll probably become a crowd favourite because that's the fickle nature of football. So hopefully he keeps scoring goals. He knows if he doesn't, he knows if his performance levels drop, I'm going to be on him. I've told him that. But like I said, the squad's in a really healthy state at the moment. We're going to need the squad over the next 10, 11 weeks. One thing that we do look at when we look at the squad depth is there's competition, genuine. We've got 2s, 3s and 4 players in certain positions with depth. So we're really excited about it. And like I said, everyone who gets to 1 to 11, it's their shirt. They've got to make sure they deliver because if they don't, somebody else will come in and do it. So we're not actively looking for any players. I've got a huge belief in this squad that we've got here. Certainly not looking to make wholesale changes. And I'm just glad that, as I said, my patience with a lot of them has bared fruit because they've come good and there's some consistent performances now, and long may they continue. So I played them 10 days ago, went there, it was a tough game. We got the 1-0 win away from home on a Tuesday night. Obviously this is a Saturday. I think they're due to be playing tonight away at Ardley. Don't know if that's going to go ahead. Obviously from my perspective, always hopeful it does because it's, we've had a busy fixture schedule. So like anything, you want to try and get us as fresh as possible and them not very fresh. So we do know it's going to be tough. We know what they're about. They showed us in the first game they're a side that work incredibly hard. They were a lot more organised than they were perhaps earlier in the season. They've got some players, like every team at this level, that can score goals. But what we know is that if we can replicate what we've done in the last 4 games, if we can replicate more of what we saw on Tuesday, then we're very confident that we can put them under immense pressure on Saturday. And I never go into any game at this level expecting to win. What I do expect my players to do is work hard, first and foremost. That's the most important thing. And if we work hard and if we are dominant and if everybody does their jobs that they're paid to do, then that gives us a great chance of winning, and hopefully we'll have a good crowd here on Saturday. As I said, the crowds have been tough at the moment with it being freezing cold and Tuesday nights and Saturdays and Luton are playing and loads of games going on, but the crowd still, to be fair, are very, very good, and we're very pleased with that, and the support means everything. So Saturday's a home one, it's important. The only thing that is important at 5 o'clock in the evening is to make sure we're celebrating 3 points. I don't care how that is. If we can be wonderful and expansive and play a certain way and go and win and everyone goes happy and give them a hammering, we'll be delighted. If we've got to grind out a 1-0, I'll be delighted. If we get battered in periods of the game and still win 1-0, I don't care. I just care about 3 points. So hopefully that was what will be the outcome on 5 o'clock on Saturday evening. So it's our third attempt to play Harpenden. I'm hopeful the walkers aren't going to be embarking on the walk, because it appears every time they want to walk somewhere, the games get cancelled. So Harpenden on a Tuesday night, again, is another fixture that we'll test to see where we are. Big ones, because Tuesday nights, I've said it all season, they throw up strange results, they throw up difficult performances. It's not an easy place to go. Like every single team at this level, they've got good players in certain areas of the pitch. But like every team at this level, including us, they've got areas that you can exploit. And what we have to do is exploit them on Tuesday. Keep saying it, I sound like a broken record, I'm sure I'm driving everyone nuts, but the reality is, it's another 3 points. And at full time on Tuesday night, all I care about is making sure we're 3 points better off. If we can do that with clean sheets and do that in style, brilliant. If we don't, I don't really care. All I care about, as I said, is keeping the run going. And we know as a group, the minute we turn up and our performance levels aren't where they should be, and we drop below those levels, then inevitably that winning run will come to an end. And we're pleased with where we are at the moment in terms of the momentum that we're going into. Even though it's 4 wins on the spin now, I think it's 1 defeat in 7. But overall, over the 7 games, I've been pleased with a lot of what I've seen. And we got a lot more grit, a lot more steel, a lot more of, I suppose, me and the group, a lot more sort of characteristics that I would expect to see from myself. So overall, hopefully, as I said, we can be backed by good support home and away, get the points, fly up the table, and this time next week be in an even better position.